Hey everyone, here are my top 10 videos on Reels for 2022. The following videos were a big part of why my account grew from 3,000 followers to 199,000 to end the year. Thank you all so much. Hope you enjoy. Number 10. 每天每夜只有两件事，就是呼吸。 I love sweet potatoes. Anybody else think that kind of look like? Number 9. So years ago when I started teaching college, I would get something called a disability accommodation request. And every single time I got one, I was like, this is great. This is wonderful. How do I implement this for all my students? One was a request for a student to be able to record my lectures so they could listen to them again later on. And I was like, wow, a lot of students would benefit from that. So now I offer video versions of all of my lectures for students that couldn't make it to class for any reason or who just wanted to hear the concepts over again. Another common one was for time and a half for quizzes or tests. And I was like, well, I don't really care how long it takes any student to do a quiz or a test. I just want to know that they know the information. So I just got rid of time limits entirely. Another one was for me to be more lenient if a student had to miss a deadline. And I was like, I can think of a lot of reasons why a student might miss a deadline. So I just got rid of all penalties for late work. And I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. But then I find all this ed psych research that shows it's just good pedagogy for all students. They're happier. I'm happier. The work is better. It's just great. Number 8.
So, without Googling, name 5 dinosaurs.
Ducky, Petrie, Littlefoot, Sarah, and Spike. Number 7.
Say this if a girl does not want to give you her number.
So years ago, before I met my wife, I was at a social gathering and I was talking to this young woman and we were flirting with each other and I felt like there was a mutual attraction going on. And so I asked for her phone number and she respectfully said no. And so here's what I did in that situation. First, I accepted her answer and I moved on. That's all the steps. Number 6.
Puppies are indubitably far more difficult to take care of than human babies.
My son started teething early and started producing too much saliva, so he could not sleep unsupervised or else he might drown on his own spit. My daughter is allergic to grass. Grass. All grass. Do you know how many places have grass? All of them. All of the good places have grass. My toddler, who hasn't ridden in a car a lot because of the pandemic, started projectile vomiting over the entire car as we sat in a drive-thru. And for those of you that don't know, toddler vomit is not like baby vomit. It's like adult vomit. It's bad. I still smell it. On an airplane, my son's diaper exploded. And I don't mean like leaked. I mean exploded. Over everything. My youngest likes chewing on things that are plugged in. Take it out of the wall? Disgusting. Plug it into electricity? Delicious. We also have a puppy. Before we get to the top 5, I just want to stop in and say that if you like what you're seeing, please consider liking and subscribing. This countdown is a pretty good representation of what my channel consists of and that it's all over the place. And I already have a ton of big things in store that I'm working on for 2023 and would love it if you came along for the ride. Number 5.
Sandwich, a jizz of mayonnaise is required.
Is that like a technical industry term? Like, did we take that or was that, like, who used that term first? Number 4.
That you went viral for that you, like, definitely did not mean to go viral for.
I made a video on my last day at a job for a company that got 14 people fired. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but here we go. So instead of working on my last day as one might do, I decided to go around and make a fake documentary. This was before The Office, so it was kind of cutting edge. So I thought it would be funny to have them all say how like racist and sexist I was as a joke, you know, to be funny. But apparently, there was a clause in our contract that said we couldn't film anything on company grounds without permission, and the company had been looking for a reason to fire a bunch of people. So I got a phone call that night from a lawyer telling me to take it down or else I would be sued. Now remember, YouTube was brand new at the time. I didn't know anybody was going to see the video, but they did, and every single person in the video got fired, and I still feel bad about it to this day. Number 3.
Men don't like loud women.
No, men who look at their spouse as property to attach their name to are scared of loud women. They are fragile. I have 2 daughters and they are kind and they are caring and they are creative and they are so loud. And I hate that they're going to hear messages like this that hope to silence them.
Number 2.
If my wife lets herself go after I have kids with her, if I'm going to tell her, I'm out.
I do portrait photography, and my wife once asked me why I don't edit her photos the way I edit my client photos. And I didn't know what she was talking about. And she said, you know, you take off all of their flaws and their wrinkles and everything else about them. And I was like, I do the same to yours. And she was like, no, you don't. And it took me a while to realize that I can't edit her photos because there are no flaws. Every flaw that she sees is part of our history. Everything she doesn't like about herself reminds me of our 3 beautiful children. And I just can't fathom thinking the way this guy in this video thinks. Okay, so I wanted that to be my #1 video, but instead, this was viewed 31 million times and shared over 2 million others. Enjoy.
Number 1.
Finally time to harvest this big boy. Let's see. Aw, I thought he was going to be longer.
That's a good carrot. So there you go. It's my top 10 for 2022. Across all my platforms, these 10 videos ended up getting around 150 million views. So thank you all for your support, and I'm really excited to make more content for you in 2023.